Hey, this is Samantha here from RecipeThis.com and the voice behind the popular Kitchen Gadgets podcast, Magic with Gadgets. Today I wanted to show you how to dehydrate raspberries using the Ninja Foodi or any air fryer dehydrator. Well, before we dive into this recipe, I just wanted to suggest that you head over to RecipeThis.com. We've got more than 1,200 kitchen gadget recipes, including recipes for the air fryer, instant pot, slow cooker, soup maker, bread maker, microwave, Ninja Foodi, and many others. We also have a free weekly newsletter, which you can find on the homepage of RecipeThis.com, or you can find it on RecipeThis.com/newsletter. And there you can get our best kitchen gadget recipes sent to your inbox every Friday morning. So now about dehydrating raspberries. What you can do is you can use any air fryer that has a dehydrate setting. We're using the Ninja Foodi, but we've also done these recipes before with the Power air fryer oven. So what you need to make dehydrated raspberries are, of course, plenty of raspberries. And you'll also need a bit of stevia and a bit of extra virgin olive oil spray. And then once you've got the ingredients out, let me run through how to use the dehydrator first if you haven't used the one before with the Ninja Foodi. And this is the tool that I picked up from Amazon. So basically this is a dehydrating stacking shelf thing that you can use for your Ninja Foodi to be able to dehydrate in it. Obviously you could use this for dried herbs, even dried flowers, fruit, vegetables, whatever you wanted. So it comes pretty flat packed, and I was trying to figure out how to use it. Dominic's kindly stacked it for me now, but let me show you how it works. So you start off with the bottom layer. Then what you do is you've got to hook it in. Then what you've got to do is you've got to hook it in, and then you've kind of got a hook on each side like that. And then what happens is you can put your food in each of these layers, and what it does is you can do a lot more dehydrating than you could if you just used a typical air fryer basket. So if you hear that, it's really, really steady. And then you've got your final one at the top. It's still hard getting used to it. This is my first time using it, by the way. I haven't had much of a test run because I want you to see what it's like if you haven't used it before. This top one that I'm struggling with. There we go. That seems much better now. And then you can simply lift it up like that, just to show that it's properly in place. And then you would simply load it in to your Ninja Foodi, and then you can dehydrate whatever you want to dehydrate. And that's the simple tool that you can use for the job. You can do as few or as many as you want at once. And dehydrated raspberries are fantastic because when they're in season, you can bulk buy them. You can do this with them with your dehydrator at home. And then you can save them for when the raspberries are back out of season. And because the raspberries are rather small, you can do a good portion of raspberries at once using a dehydrator. Obviously we're using a Ninja dehydrator, And what that is that's different to the other ones is that they're stacking them up rather than whilst with the power air fryer oven, it's like just trays of raspberries. So then you want to aim for a decent portion on each level, depending on how many of them you need to do. For example, that's our first level. And then once you've done your first level, you want to hook it. Oh, we lost one there. You want to hook it all in like that. Put your hand down just so that you know that it's all properly in place. Oops, I just realised now I've actually forgotten something. I've actually forgotten the spray and the sugar, which you want to do each time you finish a level. And then of course, back in we go. Right, I have actually tried raspberries without the olive oil spray and without stevia, and it's just not as nice. And without the olive oil spray, it makes it quite rubbery. And it depends how sweet your raspberries are for the stevia. And then if you've got any that are really falling apart, don't bother with those ones. Like, I've got a bit like that there, it's no point. So if you think how much you see there in front of you now, that's actually from one container of them, and that's from 150 grams worth of raspberries. So these small packs really don't go very far, but if it's summertime and you've gone raspberry picking, then you will actually get a lot more than what we're doing here. And ours are just some raspberries from M&S. Right. I love that layer because it's got, this pack seems to have better quality raspberries in than the other. Right, another spray, another sprinkle, and then we can go a layer taller. So again, you want to hook it in. Right, and I always put my hand down on it like that because then I can tell that it's actually in place. When I first got it, oh, the amount of time you're trying to hook it in and you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? And it turns into a serious frustration. Right, so that's another layer done. Again, back to your spray, back to your stevia. And then let's add another layer. Again, put your hand down on it just to make sure it's in place. I have got another layer to this, but I don't think I'm going to need it. I think we're going to stop on this layer here. Like I say, this is just short of 300 grams worth of raspberries. Look, that's all the raspberries gone. So yeah, we're not going to be using this top layer here. So if you had more, then you'd have another layer up. And then the stevia. And then we're ready to place it in the Ninja Foodi. So let's talk time and temps when it comes to dehydrating fruit in the Ninja Foodi. You know, I've noticed that there's quite a big difference between when I've done it in Portugal using the power air fryer oven and when I've done it using the dehydrator of the Ninja Foodi. I found that some things in the Ninja Foodi are much faster, and I've found that other things are much slower. And I've been reading up on different dehydrators, and I've actually found that it depends on the type of dehydrator you have. Like for example, the microwave's the quickest method, the oven is the next step up, and then the slowest is a professional dehydrator. Well, I find air fryers work a little bit faster to ovens, so if you're ever checking out dehydrator recipes on the internet, kind of think of the air fryer as a quicker version of dehydrating in the oven. Now it's time to set the time and temp to dehydrate your raspberries. The most important thing to learn first is to check on them every 5 hours, because you want to make sure they're okay and they're not sticking to the baskets of the trivet. So you want to turn it on and you want to set it to dehydrate, and you're looking for 15 hours at 55 Celsius. I find that the perfect time for them in the Ninja is actually 15 hours, but it will only go up to 12 hours. So you want to set it for 55 Celsius for 12 hours, and then you can use that time to check them, turn them over if they need it, and then adjust it for the final 3 hours. So just think 15 hours is the generalised time for juicy regular raspberries to be turned into dehydrated raspberries. And if they need a little longer after that time, you can just adjust it and then press start. And we've beeped. And we've left them for 15 hours dehydrating, and this is what the raspberries look like now. And as you can see, we've got properly dried raspberries. And the benefit here to them like this is, like I say, they'll keep in a cupboard for up to a year. And if you wonder when to know that they're actually properly dried out, it's when there's absolutely no juice left and they would crumble if you kept fiddling with them. And then you can just lift them out like that, and then you can place them in a bowl. Ziploc bags are fantastic for keeping all your dried fruit in, and then you can just store them in a spare kitchen cupboard. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Recipe This family. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook and Pinterest. We also have a weekly newsletter at recipethis.com/newsletter, where we share with you our latest kitchen gadget recipes, what we're cooking in the Milner kitchen, and so much more. As well as this, we recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then whenever we have a new video, you will be the first to know. And if you want to know about all our future videos, then I recommend you hit the bell for instant notifications. But even better, we now have a podcast. It's called Magic with Gadgets. Simply search Magic with Gadgets on your favourite podcast player and you'll find us there.